I'm Melanie Florence from Miss Melly Flows Vibe Life. This is my YouTube channel. I will be putting up tarot readings and a lot of spiritual sort of stuff. I have got some open folders inside of my YouTube for some bolster pillow yoga and also some higher vibration meditation. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check those out on the YouTube. So this reading is for the earth element for September 2020. So I normally am going to shuffle the cards in front of everybody and lay them and let you watch them jump out so that we can have an interactive reading. Every once in a while YouTube is going to really stuff that and it's going to stop a video halfway through, so I will already have cards out, and that is what's happened with this earth reading. So I've already shuffled through a few cards. I already actually have half of the reading, 3/4. We only had 3 cards to go before it cut out. So I'm going to read it all through again, and I'm going to bring in the cards back for you so you can see what's going on in the reading, obviously. So earth elementals for the September reading. This is for this could be because you're an earth element, or could be because you're looking to what's going on with your material plane and your material being. These readings can go either way. I also do personal readings. I do them via my Facebook, Miss Melly Flow. If you would like to contact me via there to book in a reading, they're very different to these. They are like a hot tea with your higher consciousness and seeing what's going on so that you can work with the energies around you. So you can book those in through Miss Melly Flow. If you like my YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. Happy for you to share with your mates if you find it relevant. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can have a look at what we've got on the floor and see on the table and see what we've got going on. Alright, so here we go. So the first deck that I've drawn out of is the Super Attractor deck by Gabrielle Bernstein. So the card that I've got for the earth element for September 2020 is manifesting. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to create to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. So it's not just about you, it's a time for manifesting. So in September, we're going to have the power to manifest stuff. And it's about aligning yourself with the universe, but creating things that are not just good for you, but are good for the world in general. So this is a nice big card. And so aside from these, I've picked the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and the Work Your Light deck. And we've come out with 2 very similar cards. We have got the Whale and Oracle Elder, which is share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. So you are looking for some frequency videos. There are some attached to my site, to this YouTube channel. But this is, this is talking about singing. This is talking about tuning in. This is talking about diving deep inside of yourself and touching your emotions and really looking deep inside of you. Where's your whale song? And on top of that, on the light, your work deck from Rebecca Campbell, we've come out with this. And you can see, this is about coming out. You can see outside that cave. You can see she's looking out. It says, share your voice. Again, we've got singing. Again, we've got vibration, just tuning in here. Manifesting. So if you feel like singing this month, my earth elemental people, it's time to sing it out loud, nice and proud. It's time for you to come out of the cage, express yourself, no more be in persecution. So share your voice with the world. So with then I've taken 2 cards out of the Earth Magic deck, which is by Stephen D. Farmer, I think. That just sounds so naff. It's so cliche, Stephen D. Farmer. But these are about our elements on Earth. And the 2 that we've got is wind, so pushing it forward, and communication, activating your manifestation. And we've got focus. We've got a crystal cave in here of focus that is drawing our energy in to bounce the sound and focus our energies. So crystal focus, wind activation, manifestation, and singing your heart out is what we've got. So the first 5 cards of this reading, how I've made it, is how we're going into what's brought us here. Our 5 senses. What's brought us to this spot in September? So we start with the Guardian So the Guardian is in this deck would be in comparison to what the Devil is. So this is about building blocks and stepping stones. This is saying, this is a lot of scary things, and have you set yourself up, and the world's changed, and it's going to test you on a really material level. It's going to test you and make you focus on something that's scary and test your soul. And what we're talking about is building blocks and stepping stones. If you've set everything up and you've got all of everything crossed and dotted and you've got it all setting in place and you've got that first step right and it's secure and foundation and the second step, then you can't be knocked down. But the whole point of this card is not what you see. It's about heading yourself and making sure you keep your focus on your path. Everything might be scary, but if you've done the right steps, the devil's in the details, you'll be in the right place, and that is not scary. You can pass straight into your path. So the second card is rest. And so what we've got is, this is resting the mind. Arrows is air, and it's mind, and it's our intellect and how we deal and how we communicate and our thoughts. And 4 is a healing element. And as you can see, this is rest. Rest your mind, rest your thoughts. Stop them moving. Stop, take a bath. Stop, take the day off. Do some meditation. Take some time out for yourself. This card is saying rest your mind. So you've taken a spot where you've done your building blocks and stepping stones, and then we've taken a little bit of a rest to see and let some of the thoughts all pass and settle. Because what's happened to get to here is you've had a new emotional beginning. There's a transition here. This soul in the boat always takes the cup with them. This is about the waters of life. This is about our cup being full and our emotional life. This is an emotional new beginning. So where we've come to, and we've got a lot of new beginnings this year, but where we've come to this year and to September has brought us to a place where we're ready. We've got an emotional new beginning. So this could be a new relationship. This could be just new messages of new beginnings. But this is an emotional new beginning to drink from the waters of life. So we have the King of Stones. This could be an earth sign male over the age of 45 or whenever a man matures. But this is sort of talking about stability and strength. And again, the practical world. This is a Capricorn, this devil. This card here can represent Capricorn, but we're talking about stability and strength and having endurance and being able to, have all of our earthly things under control and be the king of our earthly plane. So this is what we're talking about, taking control. That's what's led us to here. There's a lot. We've gone through a lot of steps. We've dealt with the devil and we've had to rest, and we've got an emotional new beginning, and now we're making ourselves solid. So the fifth part of how we brought ourselves to here and our senses is the 4 of Stones. Again, another healing card. What we're talking, and you can see the deer, you can see the spirit inside of this. You can see that it's protected. All the 4s. 4 is always going to give us strength. It gives us walls. It gives us protection. But you can see this outside of our stars and everything. We've got this shield that we're physically protecting what we have and what we own and our children and our foundations and who we are on the practical level. So the next 4 cards are the healing elements. What's going to help us? What's going to heal us in September? This card is reflection. So this is about, you can see again, this soul transition. So we're having a transition here. We've rested our emotions and we've got a little nurture and we're transitioning a bit. This is talking about our emotions and looking back at our life, reflecting back at our life and where we got to. This is probably the Lady of the Lake. We can probably see that she's got the emotional queen with her and our messages in our bag. And this, you were looking at it from a different perspective. When we look back at our lives and we're not involved in the shock and everything that's going on, we can look at the perspective of how we got to here. So this is the hangman in a traditional Rider-Waite test. And this is about, again, seeing it from a different perspective. You can always leave, but the transition will happen and it will take you going. This is just looking back and looking at it from a different angle while you're not emotionally attached to it, I guess. So the next card is the shaman. So the shaman is the magician. So the shaman is our ancestor. The shaman is the healer. The shaman is us. This is talking about manifesting again. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. So here, we've got the magician. This is heaven on earth. This is creating what is in your heaven onto your earth. This is taking hold of what you know and bringing it into fruition. This is your magic on the very material level that you can bring this into. So the shaman will be there to help you. The shaman is there to guide you. The shaman is there to help you. But this indicates that there is a moment that you can manifest. And looking at your past, it's time to drive into your future to manifest. Remember, we've got the winds of activation, the winds of change. The winds of change, as long as we're focused, we're crystal focused, we've got the winds of change. Sharing your voice. Alright, so what else is our healing element? So, joy. And this is fairly simple. You're going to be happy about it. You've made changes. You're sharing your emotions. You're sharing your love. This is a step after attraction. When we share our love, we share our bliss with people. There's a dance inside of this. So now we've got a song and a dance, Capricorn, of joy, emotional connection, diving deep into ourselves to manifest. We've gone through our trials. We've gone through our material trials. We've gone through an emotional new beginning. The devil has asked us to have in place. You can celebrate. This is the Three of Cups. This is a celebration. This is joy. Share the joy with your family. Share the joy with your friends. Spreading it out. And the last healing card. This is the Fire Queen. So the Queen of Fire is talking about faith and passion. She's a woman of action. She has got a rebirth. She really thinks about her spiritual world. So this sits us in a space that we've turned a lot and we've talked to our spirit and everything, and there's joy. And we're going to embrace the female, the femme fire. And that's a strong fighting sense. And there's a lot of nurturing and there's a lot of fertility in this card. And there's a spiritual fertility in this card going forward. So the next three cards are about our how we're going to apply this to the world, how this is applied to the world in September. So we first have Judgment. So this bear and this bear are the same bear. You can see it. They're the same height even. Just like this bear guards an entrance. You can see they both do. So the devil is judgment. The devil is how we judge ourselves. This is the outcome of how we judge ourselves. We pick our bones bare to scare ourselves. This card, judgment, is about how other people see us. If you were in the middle of a court case or something, this card coming up obviously could be talking about a court case and what might be going on about it. But it's really important to stay focused. It's really important inside of this not to get scared of the bear of judgment and keep our focus. Everybody, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Ignore their opinion and keep your focus on the goal. Okay, so again, the devil's in the details. So, what have we got next? We have got, this is still in how we're applying this to the world. So, there's generosity. There's one step away from happiness, and with the joy cup, this is saying our cup is sort of full, and this is a play it forward card. You can see all the ingredients. You can see that there's this circle of generosity and abundance that's happening around this soul, and it's emotional. Everything's being fed in. Everybody's being poured in. We've got this cauldron of emotional generosity going on. This is a really great place to stand in and work from with our joy. All right, so the next card that has turned up is insecurity. Judgment breeds insecurity. You know, the guardian, all of these things, reflection, they breed insecurity. Insecurity is of the mind. You can see that she's clouded to it. She doesn't know. There's something she doesn't know. There might be secrets. The bow and injustice, you can see the scale has been tipped and the bow is broken, and it doesn't make a difference. It's not weighing up. She can't add it up. It's not fair. Alright, so something being not fair, or that there's an injustice sitting in here, this is part of the outcomes. This is part of how we're going to apply this to the world. So sometimes you need to just keep going, and sometimes we need to look at ourselves, and this is a duality. This is two two sides of our mind even. So this is can't make up our mind, maybe, that it sits on one side. They might not have all the information to make up our mind. So just deal with the generosity of the world and how we're going to deal with the injustice of this. And injustice may mean that you know that the scales are not tipped and you can't do anything about it, but you know that they are. Right? So you can work from the fact that things weren't fair and progress forward. Other people's judgment is not you. Alright, so now we're here. I need to get new cards because this is where we're off to when I was just about to finish a reading for you guys. Earth Element, September 2020. This is about partnerships. We have Hearthfire. Alright, Hearthfire is the central heating of your house inside of your soul. So this is about the partnerships is going to bring up the things that really warm your heart, that really warm your house. This is a striking position. It's a healing, obviously, with an 8 and a manifestation, an 8, heaven and earth. You can bring this into your life. You can bring that hearth fire, that warmth into the center of your being and the center of your house. So something's going to warm up our earth signs while they're singing. Our earth element, our practical being, September 2020. What's the other side of partnerships? Again, this is not the first time. This has actually come up 3 times in a row. This card is the Archer. This says you have your bow, you have your potential energy, you know all your skills, you have it, you can reach for it, you can aim for it. This is a really practically applied card. This is the Chariot from the Rider-Waite deck. This is practical application of all the skills and everything I have. I know they can come together. I know I have my aim. I've practiced, and this arrow is going to hit, but I've got another arrow in my quiver that I'm going to pull, and I'm going to aim, and it's going to hit too. So this is a strength card. This is a show of strength and aim and hearthfire. So this is a great place for our earth elementals to go out into the world with their partnerships, of fulfilling their spirit, filling their queen of their soul, and they're really aiming and targeting that and knowing that you can apply your potential energy to the world. All right, one more card. Let's get through before the video cuts off. One more card. There it is. Ooh, this is your healing. This is your self-love card. Most interesting self-love card. Sometimes this is of the mind. Three of the mind. So this is really talking about, could be 3 people, could be 3 trains of thought, not just 2, because we've got injustice here previously. But this is a step on from injustice. And how do we use this? How do we self-love from this? People will be jealous of you. Maybe you can be flattered. Maybe you can go, that's good because I'm achieving something that they want. I also think that as long as you're not being too envious, if you're looking at somebody else's stuff and you're going, I like what they're doing, you can't be something until you've seen it. All right, once you see it, it's all right to say, I am a little bit envious of that. Sometimes this is a real driving energy.